Topping today's news, the energy minister says right-sizing the energy company is part of the government's plans to reduce its $500 million debt. The education minister reacts as students fall ill after ingesting what is believed to be marijuana products. And Foreign Affairs Minister Mitchell shares his thoughts on the new Haitian transitional prime minister. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Jarino Saunders. This is your JCN Evening News, and it is a pleasure to have you join us. The Electricity Bill 2024 and the Natural Gas Bill 2024 are now on their way to the Senate after successfully passing in the House of Assembly on Wednesday. And with the hot summer months and the hurricane season upon us, affordable and reliable electricity, the supply is a priority for both the providers and us, the consumers. At the office of the Prime Minister today, the Minister of Energy and Transport, Jobeth Kobe Davis, sought to break down even further the Davis administration's agenda to improve the energy sector. One aspect of the upgrades has to do with the introduction of liquefied natural gas, or LNG, which, according to the minister, is already being used here in the Bahamas.
The introduction of the Natural Gas Bill 2024 represents a fulfillment of our commitment as to transition our power generation to liquefied natural gas as a cleaner source of fuel. Currently, LNG is being imported, used, and transported in the Bahamas. However, there is no regulatory framework for this activity, and we know that LNG is currently deployed as a fuel source for electricity generation for some of our private developments. Our objective with these bills is to reduce the cost of electricity, increase reliability, and to expand renewable energy sources and consumption in the Bahamas.
Mrs. Kobe Davis reminded that BPL's legacy debt is over $500 million, $500 million, and in order to implement the government's transformative strategy for the energy sector, it is necessary to attract capital and expertise. Asked if she could confirm that Shell Oil is one of the private companies the government is in talks with regards to BPL's transformation, Mrs. Kobe Davis said she could not confirm at this time. However, she explained that the strategic partnerships are all in an effort to right-size and help BPL pay off its legacy debt.
All of the exercise that we're doing now is a part of right-sizing BPL. Any partnership or any relationship that we engage in would also take in consideration the option to be able to facilitate payments to the legacy debt on a timely basis. And that is why we have to do these exercises, so we can give BPL more room in their finances to be able to fund and pay down their debt. The government is not in the business of putting the Bahamian people and any assets related to them in a worse position. And so as we are leading these discussions to find possible solutions, everything is on the table. The reason I advise the Bahamian public that BPL has a $500 million debt is because I am now in a position as the minister with responsibility to find a solution of how we're paying down that debt. So everything is on the table as we are coming to solutions and possible ways in which we can right-size BPL. Right-sizing BPL is also putting them in a position to bring down their debt and make sure that they're able to facilitate continuous and on-time payments to the pension fund.
The government has confirmed that 3 separate entities will be engaged as the government seeks to outsource transmission, distribution, and generation of power at Bahamas Power and Light in an effort, like we said, to generate more affordable and reliable electricity beginning as soon as July this year. On Monday, authorities were notified around 12 p.m. that students at a public high school on Blue Hill Road had ingested an illegal substance which resulted in them losing consciousness and them being transported to the hospital via emergency medical services. And they were treated at the hospital as well. Wednesday, outside the House of Assembly, the Minister of Education, Technical and Vocational Training, Glennis Hannah Martin, responded to the incident and said it has the full attention of her ministry.
We're always concerned when we see antisocial, self-destructing behaviors, and so the ministry of Education, in conjunction with the school, we have guidance counselors. We speak to the parents where there are issues of criminal offenses. The police are involved. These are young people. We seek to work with them to help them come of their own. And so, this is the process. And if there's a criminal offense, then, that's out of our hands. That's dealt with otherwise. But within the context of the Ministry of Education, we work with young people through counseling, through guidance, through support, we liaise with parents and the wider community to help, young people continue on a journey. And that's where we are.
Bahamas Union of Teachers President Belinda Wilson, in a statement, suggested that students be drug tested. However, Minister Hannah Martin disagrees with that position and says it should be a decision made by parents and not the school.
In terms of the testing, no, I think that I'm not supportive of that at this time. In terms of the fact that I'll say it this way: if testing is deemed necessary by a parent, then the parent, in conjunction with that child, can facilitate that. But I do not see that as a role at this time with the Ministry of Education and the school to test students for drugs. I think what we need to find out if there is a suspicion that children are using drugs, which is a self-destructive act to some extent, then we should work with that child and through our counseling, etc. The testing, I think, should be a discussion between the parent and the child.
A further investigation that involves the police continues into this matter. Tuesday, Haiti's Transitional Council named former Sports Minister Fritz Belazer as the country's prime minister in the hopes of establishing a new, stable government amidst civil unrest. Minister of Foreign Affairs Fred Mitchell, speaking to reporters, calling it an important step needed to control the surge of gang violence and to reclaim Port-au-Prince. He says it is now time for CARICOM and world leaders to take a step back.
This is a Haitian-led process, and CARICOM has done all that it can to bring the process to this point. It's not really for us to determine who's going to lead and who's going to do what. It's just we have to see how the process unfolds. It appears to me that it has the broadest acceptance at this point of the elites in Haiti, and that the international community accepts that this is the right direction going forward.
Mr. Mitchell says the newly installed Transitional Council and naming a new prime minister has already had positive impacts in Haiti.
U.S. airlines are saying they're going to be returning to flights in Haiti as of the 16th of May. This morning there was an announcement that the Americans think that the first Kenyan police officers and troops will be in Port-au-Prince on the 26th of May. So it looks like it's moving in the right direction.
The Foreign Affairs Minister explains that Haiti's state of affairs is unparalleled, but despite a fractured political process, the Transitional Council has so far been successful in its efforts. And finally, in this segment, as the date for the FNM's one-day convention has been set for June 1st, the nomination frenzy is in full swing. The news today out of the FNM's camp is that former party leader Dr. Hubert Minnis is expected to file his nomination papers on Friday, tomorrow. He has long been speculated to challenge incumbent leader Michael Pintard. It also appears that incumbent chairman, Dr. Dwayne Sands, will be challenged, as there are reports of former Member of Parliament for Yamakura, Attorney Ellsworth Johnson, vying for the chairman's post. In 2022, Dr. Sands narrowly defeated Mr. Johnson in the race for the chairmanship, beat him by just 14 votes. Nominees for the party positions have until Friday to declare themselves. Again, that FNM convention is set for Saturday, June 1st. We'll take a break here. We'll be right back after these commercials.